From the Mumbai studios of Republic TV, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate.
Good evening and welcome. Good to see you again, viewers. And it's not Bharat Jodo for the Vadra Congress. It is about saving the Rahul Robert Jodi. The hashtag tonight is, ladies and gentlemen, Rahul Robert Jodi. The Rahul Gandhi and Robert Vadra partnership, which has now come out in the open. This so-called Bharat Jodo campaign of the Vadra Congress is an act of desperation. The Vadra Gandhis know the truth, that power has slipped, but their considerable assets, their wealth, is now going to come under scrutiny. This is not Bharat Jodo by them, viewers, it is Parivar Jodo. Save the family. Now look at the open way in which the tainted, controversial Robert Vadra, I don't know what he's achieved in his life, has declared himself as the topmost leader of the Vadra Congress. It's in the open. Look at this, viewers. He's coming out right now and he's tweeting pictures of his posters being put up here and there by his chamchas and his cronies. Now, with Mr. Vadra and Mrs. Vadra in the limelight, why shouldn't the party rightly be called the Vadra Congress? After all, at one time they had called it Congress I. Why should it not now be called the Vadra Congress? This party has done everything possible to try and break our country. Rahul Gandhi has officially supported the Tukre pro-Afzal gang. He knows that. I know that and you know that. He has supported the urban Naxals. He and his supporters have gone and backed the Maoists, just out of an act of personal angst and political frustration. They are politically frustrated, so they want to break the country. Why are the Vadra Gandhis frustrated? They are frustrated because they have been forced to come to terms with the fact that at a national level, this family is just political rejects. After all, Nehru, under Mountbatten's tremendous influence, had orchestrated the partition. Why? For his personal ambition, so he could be Prime Minister of India. How can this family and the remnants of this party talk about uniting the country? The country is united. This family should stop trying to shoot off the country's shoulder to save themselves from further ruin. And that is why, viewers, I say, it is not Bharat Jodo for them, it's hashtag Rahul Robert Jodi for them. It's the Rahul Robert Jodi which is now in the open, who they want to save. Robert Vadra, Priyanka Vadra, and Rahul Gandhi. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what it's all about. That's debate number one tonight. Debate number one is on the Rahul Robert Jodi and why we should stand up against it. Debate number two this evening, viewers. I think it's fantastic that Rajpath has been renamed as Kartavya Path. Tomorrow's event is huge. We should get out of the slavish colonial mentality. And in fact, we should have no names, no place named with any reference to the British Raj anymore. Debate number three tonight, viewers. First Partho, now this man called Molloy Ghatak. They say if Molloy Ghatak goes in, he's going to take the whole party down with him. Will he be arrested? Not yet. But is it impossible tomorrow? Following that story, ladies and gentlemen, a lot more coming up, and here are the headlines this Wednesday evening on the debate tonight. Is it Bharat Jodo or Family Jodo campaign? No bias for the desperate Vadra Congress antic. Embroiled in scam after scam, Robert Vadra is promoting himself, and Robert Vadra has pitched himself as the face nationally of the Congress. Big message sent across India as the centre prepares to inaugurate Kartavya Path. It is time to shed all colonial baggage. As India abolishes the colonial mindset, the lobby is outraged. Why are some trying to keep India indebted to the Raj? First Partho Chatterjee, now Bengal's law minister, Molloy Ghatak is the man. Molloy Ghatak, raided by the CBI. TMC heading towards another storm. And massive income tax crackdown on bogus political donations. Big action expected on Thursday. Big questions raised over who's funding certain questionable sections of the digital news media. Ladies and gentlemen, today a man called Robert Vadra indicated an official entry into politics. He says that he is one of the topmost levels, a leader of the Congress party. He's majorly in an excited way tweeting pictures of himself on Bharat Jodo posters in Kanyakumari. Rahul Gandhi, who supported the Tukre gang, who has done everything possible to break the country, support Maoist terrorists, Maoist supporters, urban Naxals, Tukre gang, Afzal supporters. He's talking about Bharat Jodo. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not Bharat Jodo. It is a desperate and corrupt family talking about Parivar Jodo. Let's debate.
Rahul Gandhi touched down on a charter chopper. To connect with the common people of India via a Bharat Jodo Yatra.
सारे लोग परेशान हैं, महंगाई से, बेरोजगारी से सब त्रस्त हैं। इस सब मुद्दों को लेकर ये यात्रा की जा रही है।
The Vadra Congress is fraying at the seams, but Koturi believes this will strengthen the party.
A fantastic opportunity for the Congress to strengthen the party organization, to reconnect with the people, to go to the people.
The BJP is claiming it's a farce.
अगर भारत जोड़ो यात्रा करना है तो राहुल गांधी को ये यात्रा पाकिस्तान में करना सही है। भारत में यात्रा करने से क्या फायदा होगा? भारत तो जुड़ा हुआ है।
After all, the irony is hard to miss 2 months after the police were being beaten up because Rahul Gandhi was grilled in the freedom struggle for profit scam. The Vadra Congress has a history of anything but uniting the nation. Remember the support to the Tukre gang.
All he said, but their leaders said that Rohit was an anti-national element.
Or when Rahul Gandhi was running down the integration of Kashmir.
Some reports have come that things in Jammu and Kashmir are going very wrong.
Or when Rahul Gandhi was creating a north-south divide.
For the first 15 years, I was a member of parliament in the north. So I had got used to a different type of politics. And for me, coming to Kerala was very refreshing because suddenly I found that people are interested in issues.
And all the times, Rahul Gandhi was at the forefront of insulting our forces.
जो हमारे जवान हैं, जिन्होंने अपना खून दिया है, जम्मू कश्मीर में जिन्होंने अपना खून दिया है, जिन्होंने हिंदुस्तान के लिए सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक किया है, उनके खून के पीछे आप छुपे हुए हो, उनकी आप दलाली कर रहे हो.
Meanwhile, Robert Vadra has descended to promote himself as the face of the party.
रॉबर्ट वाड्रा देश की एकता को जोड़ने के लिए निकले हैं, ये सवाल ही अपने आप में बड़ा रोचक है, हाँ? क्योंकि जब रॉबर्ट वाड्रा की बात निकलेगी तो बहुत दूर तक जाएगी, भ्रष्टाचार के अतीत को लेकर बहुत बातें उठेंगी.
The same Robert Vadra, ridden with multi-crore scam allegations. Today, as the Vadra Congress commences its Yatra, the nation is left with just this sentiment.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
Let's debate.
So So the first question obviously is about the emergence of Robert Vadra as the preeminent leader of the Vadra Congress, and people have always asked me, Arnab, why do you call it the Vadra Congress? I say, well, more people at the topmost level of the party now carry the Vadra surname, so I would call it the Vadra Congress. And it has been the habit of the people from this party to use family names and individual names to define themselves. They call themselves Congress I. They called themselves Indira Congress. At one time it was Indira Congress, and now it is appropriately the Vadra Congress. And so my first question is to Renu Mittal. I welcome Sanju Verma, Kartikeya Tanna, Prakash Swamy, Sushil Pandit, Pankaj Sharma, J.C. Chandurkar of the Congress, and Vikraman as well. But my first question is to you, Renu, about the interesting emergence of Robert Vadra, who is tweeting his posters there's Rahul Gandhi in the middle, Mrs. Vadra on one side, and Mr. Vadra on the other. Hello. Now this image, this Trimurti image of Mrs. Vadra and Mr. Vadra, and the emergence of Mr. Vadra, who I don't know what he has accomplished in this life, besides, trying to attack some journalists here and there, selling 171 acres of land illegally. What is his contribution to the country at any level, or besides to himself, that he has now emerged as the top leader and he is playing a critical role in this campaign? Renu, would you like to start the debate, please?
Yeah, you see, the problem now, Arnab, with the Congress party is that 3 members of the family are already in very prominent positions.
Right.
They are holding the strings of the Congress party.
Which 3?
They are deciding what is to be done.
Which 3?
And now we have a 4th member of the Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, and Priyanka Gandhi. It's known to everybody.
But now there's Robert Vadra.
How will they? Yeah. Political ambitions for quite some time.
Yeah.
He has been held back by Sonia Gandhi, but in between he emerges. When elections take place, he wants to contest elections, and when an event like this, Bharat Jodo Yatra, is taking place, I think he would also like to jump in. The fact of the matter is that, as though 3 members are not enough, there is a 4th member also wanting to come in, and then there are Priyanka's children also waiting in the wings. So it is actually basically now, it has become a family enterprise. And these people who are left in the Congress party, now if you look at the picture of senior leaders in the Congress, you'll find that a lot of them have left, and there are just a very few who are there because the whole party leadership issue is shrinking. And even in the states, a lot of people are leaving. With Ghulam Nabi Azad, you had 64 people in Jammu joining him and leaving the Congress party. So you see, there is a huge crisis. You may have a Bharat Jodo Yatra, but the internal crisis within the Congress has not been resolved. Rahul Gandhi is refusing to become Congress president. He wants to make Ashok Gehlot the Congress president. Ashok Gehlot does not want to give up the chief ministership. The problem now is that a Congress president used to be the prime minister of the country. Now this particular Congress president, who is going to come in, possibly Ashok Gehlot, he wants to remain the chief minister. So you see how the Congress is dumbing itself down, and we have a situation where he wants to be both the chief
minister. But my question was on the emergence of Robert Vadra, which I must say, Renu, I must say, Sanju also wants to come in. It's a complete nightmare. It's a frightening possibility that a man with the background of Robert Vadra, and if a person like Robert Vadra becomes so courageous so as to throw his hat into the ring and say, Mr. and Mrs. Vadra will now rule the Congress. Mr. and Mrs. Vadra. I don't think they'll get 10 votes in the whole country. And this is a man accused of getting kickbacks in the petroleum deal signed in 2009 under the UPA era. He's a tainted businessman. He faces proceedings from the IT department under the black money law. He has illegally sold the land of poor people. And I think it's a frightful shame. And I think the Vadra Congress family should be ashamed of itself, for daring to do this, viewers. It's a shame.
May I come in, please?
Sanju wants to come into the debate. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to hear your views on the Rahul Robert Jodi. The hashtag tonight is Rahul Robert Jodi, viewers. Please unhesitatingly contact us
been wanting to come
on Twitter.
Renu, we heard you. May I please?
Issue for a long time now in the Congress party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Renu, we heard you. You know, Arnab, the fact of the matter is that I say this on virtually every debate on this issue, that Rahul Gandhi qualifies as an unmitigated sociopath, because the textbook definition of sociopath is somebody who lies without reason, who lies repeatedly, and who lies without regret or remorse. I think the reason why Rahul Gandhi refuses to take charge of the party's affairs is because he has started enjoying power without responsibility and power without accountability, not to mention power without transparency. The Congress is all about an opaque environment where everything is done to shield 4 members of a private limited company: the mother, the son, the daughter, and of course the son-in-law, Robert Vadra in this case. The most important point which I want to make today is this. The Congress and Rahul Gandhi are well within their right to engage in a Bharat Jodo Yatra. पर पहले अपनी पार्टी तो संभालिए. आपकी पार्टी तो टूट रही है. Your party is breaking at the seams. The fact is that Ghulam Nabi Azad is not a symptom of the problem. Rahul Gandhi is at the epicenter of the problem, but nobody in the Congress has the guts to call a spade a spade. Look at Himanta Biswa Sarma. He was not given due respect. Today he is the Chief Minister of Assam. Look at N. Biren Singh. He is the Chief Minister of Manipur. Again an ex-Congressee. Look at Pema Khandu, an ex-Congressee, now the Chief Minister of Arunachal Pradesh. If you look at the Congress performance in Lok Sabha 2019, they got 52 seats. Out of which 39 seats, 75% of the seats came from only 2 states. Tamil Nadu, where they got 24, and Kerala, where they got 15 Lok Sabha seats.
Yeah.
Be it Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Karnataka, Congress got 1 seat each.
Shorter than Sanju now.
Bihar, Gujarat,
Sanju.
Congress got 0 seats.
Yeah.
I want to know what is Rahul Gandhi's strategy to improve his tally in Gujarat, to improve his tally in Manipur,
Sanju, thank you. Now, I'm taking it to others. I'm taking it to others. I don't want you to complete all your points in the opening remarks. But I believe, I truly believe, and I know that some people will probably, you know, the Congis will troll us for this, but I think that this family is a threat to the country. And I don't think this family has been a threat to the country today. I believe this family and all that it stands for is a threat to India, to our beloved nation, and the sooner this family quits politics and public life, the better it is for the country. This family is a threat for the country, Pankaj, and people like you and Mr. Chandorkar should quit the Congress, because this is a family that actually supports people like Umar Khalid, you know, who play a role in the Delhi riots. This family is a threat to the sovereignty and integrity and unity of this country, because it supports Kanhaiya Kumar, it supports the Tukre Tukre gang, it backs urban Naxals, it supports Sarjil Imam, who wanted to break the country apart, and this family shamelessly supports these people. Its track record is that of working against national unity. This family backs Tawqir Raza Hussain, urban Naxals, Sarjil Imam, Tukre Tukre gang, Afzal Guru and Umar Khalid. This family, and you need to understand how dangerous this family are, and don't tell me they innocently do it because they are good people. No, no, no. If you are good, you don't become a threat to the country. And it is unfortunately, Mr. Chandorkar, you are a very senior leader of the Congress, it is the passive approach of veteran congressmen like you that allows them to get away with it. You should have thrown this family out. But problem with this, you have attached yourself with glue to this family, and your party is going down with it. You will not, there is not one factual counter that you can have to me, Mr. Chandorkar. You cannot support all the anti-national causes that this family stands for, and I don't trust this family, and you don't trust this family. This family has had a private contract with an enemy nation. It has gone to Beijing and signed a private contract. How do I know now? They have not taken money for it. They have not declared it. How much money is there? What assurances have they given? On whose behalf? Who gave them the power of attorney for our country? Why don't you wake up? This family has worked against India's sovereign interests for a long time, Mr. Chandorkar. And you first, before being a party man, should be a proud citizen of this country. I'd like your response, please. I see Mr. Swami wants to come in. Kartikeya wants to come in. The debate is open. Yes. Mr. Chandurkar.
Arnab,
Sir.
Arnab, I want to tell you.
Mr. Swami is coming in. Yeah. Mr. Swami is. Yes, Mr. Swami.
I don't know whether this is Pada Yatra or a container Yatra or a caravan Yatra, because, you know, there are a lot of caravans we are seeing. And then he is saying is for unity of the country. The country is united for the past 8 years. But your party, you have to strengthen your party. There is no unity in your party.
Deliberate
Plus,
attempts to
you are
divide this
having
country.
alliance with the party in Tamil Nadu, which is demanding separate Tamil Nadu. You are having alliance with the party in Tamil Nadu, which demands separate Tamil Nadu. There you have to concentrate, not in India. India is united. India is strong. All that you need, there is no internal democracy in the Congress. All the leaders are being foisted on the people, on the cadre. The result is the party is disintegrating. You don't need BJP to finish the Congress. Congress will finish itself completely. And you need people like Stalin to get you elected to parliament. But for Stalin, you would not have got one seat from Tamil Nadu in the Lok Sabha election. You're depending on regional parties. The so-called national party, which once claimed to get freedom, is now depending on regional parties to come to the parliament.
No, but Mr. Swami, I will come into the influence on Tamil Nadu politics later, but I am concerned about the influence of Mr. and Mrs. Vadra. I don't think anyone in this country can trust what Mr. and Mrs. Vadra are up to, because Mr. and Mrs. Vadra.
Nobody knows Vadra in Tamil Nadu.
No, yeah, well, I mean, Mr. Vadra has declared himself the leader along with his wife. Yes, Mr. Chandurkar. Mr. Chandurkar, you're saying something, sir.
Arnab,
sir.
First of all, I don't agree with all your comments you made about Robert Vadra and the most hateful comments about the Congress family. I don't agree with you on your comment that Congress is supporting a Tukde gang. I don't agree with you that Congress
You may not agree, but that's my view.
I tell you that Rahul Gandhi, today, that is your view.
Yeah.
That is your view.
No, but my view is the view of most people in the country agree with my view. Most people in the country agree with my view. You want to take a poll on it? Should I open the phone lines? You want to know?
Okay.
You want to know how many people support Mr. and Mrs. Vadra's views? How many people support my views? You want to know?
You have given your point. I don't agree.
Yeah.
That's the debate. Now, second point which I am raising here, that the Bharat Jodo Yatra by Rahul Gandhi has regenerated a tremendous confidence in the congressmen in the country.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And take down. I tell you, you can take it on, by writing from me that this Padayatra of 115 days covering 12 states and 2 union territories of Rahul Gandhi will change the future of this country. Rahul Gandhi is a leader who has
Because he's saying that Rahul, Robert, Jodo will change the future of this country. There is no more frightening statement than that I have heard so far.
I will come to it, wait. Rahul Gandhi, allow me.
Sir, you're making a speech to please your party leaders.
His father assassinated. Rahul Gandhi came to the power and lost the power.
He's ranting.
So, Rahul
Sir, I just want to know. Sir, I want to know. I want to know. Okay, one minute. I just want to know. Mr. Chandurkar, I'd like Kartikeya also to come into the debate with Sushil Pandit. And I have just one simple question tonight. Let us not go left or right, up or down, this way or that way. I just want to know what was there in the memorandum of understanding with China. Can any of you tell me? There was a memorandum of understanding that this family signed with China. How do I know? Do we know, Sushil, there was no arrangement of money, financial assistance, some understandings of partnership, some corporate deal, some backhand deal? Why did they? You want to talk about working for the country? I want to know whether you sold my country's interest in Beijing. I don't trust this family, and nobody should.
By your imagination.
It's not my imagination. I have a picture. I have a video and I have a still picture of Rahul Gandhi signing the deal in the presence of Xi Jinping. What do you have?
And then why don't you, if that is the case, if that is the Arnab, if that is the case, it's an offense against the nation.
Much before
Sushil Pandit is on the debate, viewers.
And
Viewers, you can freely tweet about the Rahul Robert Jodi. I will start reading out some of your tweets in a minute. Yeah.
Thank you, Arnab. Much before the MOU with China surfaced, there were Mitrokhin papers. Mitrokhin papers referred to the Soviet era relationship with Congress and how Congress was funded by KGB routinely. Crores of rupees were sent and funneled. And then you have this MOU with China of Congress party. You had a clandestine meeting of Rahul Gandhi along with his brother-in-law and sister,
who is talking,
which was first denied, which was first completely distorted in terms of response, and then they said that yes, we had a meeting. Yes, on again, off again kind of denials, and secret clandestine meetings when China was threatening to overrun our border. This is the record. When it comes to Congress talking about patriotism, I am reminded of Samuel Johnson saying 300 years ago,
even with the ambassador,
300 years ago, that patriotism is the last refuge of a scoundrel. I don't know who the scoundrel here is, but the point is, I have some questions to ask of my own government. Ashok Khemka, an IAS officer, had completed his investigations on the land deals of Robert Vadra. He had submitted a file to Qatar government.
Yeah, open the file, viewers. Open the file. We want the file.
There is not even an FIR on this man.
Yeah.
Who's protecting him? Why is he not charged and convicted till now? It's been 8 years.
You go to
Why
the court
all his
against
scandals are not surfacing, are not prosecuted when entire evidence has been marshaled by an IAS officer looking after these land deals?
Fact, you go to the court of law against.
It's not about the court of law. It is about the questions the people are asking. I'd like, you see, just a minute, Vikraman and Karthik will come into the debate. They haven't spoken. Sushil, thank you. You see, viewers, we must be very careful about this family. This family, Mr. and Mrs. Vadra, went and met the Chinese envoy Luo Zhahui amidst the Doklam standoff. When we fought back the Chinese, there was a secret meeting between, I'm told, Mr. and Mrs. Vadra with the Chinese envoy Luo Zhahui, which they tried to deny, but which they could not deny. And when Rahul Gandhi went to speak his unadulterated garble in the United Kingdom, embarrassing himself and even the audience to be having to be corrected by a smart bureaucrat, he went and met the permanently anti-India Jeremy Corbyn in London. Why did he meet him?
Absolutely.
What is his agenda?
Shameful conduct.
And viewers, I believe that if there is the deep state of another country which wants to have an influence over our country, the easiest way to do so would be through these people. Question very simply is this: have we forgotten Cambridge Analytica? We've not. We have to be careful, and my job is to tell the people that they may be doing this to save their money, but we need to save our country from their influence, Karthik. This is extremely dangerous, and we need to take it on very directly. And the Rahul Robert Jodi emerging, the Mr. and Mrs. Vadra combination is the most dangerous thing that could have happened in Indian politics, besides being the most amusing as well. Karthik.
Arnab, see, there's no need to be frightened. I actually agree with the previous speaker. Sir, give me 1 minute, please. I actually agree with you, sir. I actually 100% agree with you. The Bharat Jodo Yatra will change the future of the country. So, Arnab, I'm sorry, but there's no need to be frightened. It will unite India. It will unite India, except it will unite the whole of India against the Vadra Congress. You see, this Congress party has followed this divide and rule. Britishers did divide and rule, they left. Congress party inherited it. Every time it thought that it was going to lose power, it tried to adopt the divide and rule. We have seen it in states after state, center after center. Every time it loses a grip with power, it does the divide and rule. It did it in Gujarat, the state that I'm from. Rahul Gandhi is now doing the north and south divide because Amethi rejected him. He was Amethi MP for 15 years, and now he's saying people of Amethi are superficial. And don't forget the ambassador, don't forget the WikiLeaks expose where he said the ambassador that no, don't worry about Islamic terror threat. The Hindu terror threat is a bigger terror threat. Don't forget that. So again, all these attempts that he is doing, are not going to bear any fruition because public memory is very sharp. And what his goal is to basically, he only wants to unite the country for one thing, which is now Congress presidency elections are, or whatever the process is around the corner. Shashi Tharoor's name is in the fray. Ashok Gehlot's name is in the fray. The Gandhi family wants control over itself. And this Yatra is honestly nothing but ensuring the permanence of the Gandhi family, and now, as you said, the Vadra Congress over the whole, which is why Robert Vadra has joined in to support from family that this Gandhi family should continue to rule the Congress. That is the only objective of this Yatra, to be honest.
Yeah, and after having worked against national interests so consistently, so persistently, it's so ironical. And they're not, this is no Yatra here. He's sitting in some, I'm told there's a air-conditioned lavish container which is moving around. This is like Julius Caesar going to fight the Gauls. Only this time they're going to come back defeated. I mean, what is this, Vikraman, this drama? I'm just coming to you, Sanju, in a minute. But they're all doing it to save the money. There must be other ways to save their money. All this, there's nothing about Bharat Jodo. They've realized the money is going. The Augusta Westland deal is being investigated. The AJL scam is very much in the last stages of the investigation. They're in deep trouble, right? Deep trouble. Otherwise, why suddenly Bharat Jodo? Why suddenly Bharat Jodo? It's only when they know the money is going 2,000 crores. 2,000 crores must be a lot of money even by their standards. But why are you supporting them? Why are you hanging on to their coattails, Vikraman?
Very frank. No, let me talk. To be very frank, I'm completely astonished by the fact that you are being unusually honest today. That you're saying before the entire country in the live television that you're frightened. Yes, you should be frightened. The BJP people should be frightened. The RSS family should be frightened by this, this Yatra. Because this Yatra, I can see the fear in your eyes. That is why you people are screaming like anything. You people are so frightened. Of course, this.
Can you move to the second line?
Yatra.
Do you have a second line, or are you going to be stuck on the first line?
No,
do you have a
I'm
second
stuck
line?
on the first line because you are stuck in the fear. You are stuck in the fear.
Carry on to the second line, Vikraman.
You are right. India must be frightened. India should be frightened.
The only family we should be careful about. The only family we should be careful about in this country is the RSS family, the Sangh family, the Sangh Parivar. These Sangh Parivar people who killed the father of this nation, Mahatma Gandhi. We should be very, very careful about this family. To put an end to that family only, Rahul Gandhi has taken up this Yatra across the nation.
Lie. That's a
to
complete lie.
To protect the nation, save the country from the RSS Sangh Parivar family. They are looting the country. They are dividing the country in the name of religion. They are dividing the country in the name of caste. They are dividing the country in the name of, class.
You're right. The
They
Bharat
are
Jodo
even trying
Yatra is
Do you have a
scary.
second
They are
line?
even trying to throw away the
Bharat Jodo
constitution.
Yatra is scary.
Some people from RSS Sangh Parivar family have been conducting some conference or something, some Hindutva conference where they were promoting or they were proposing a new constitution of around 800 pages. We are actually trying to protect the constitution of this country. We are trying to protect the country. All right. So I can see the fear in your eyes, Arnab. Through your spectacles, I can see the fear in your eyes. All right. Don't worry. Don't worry. If you be democratic, if you think you can be a little patriotic, you can be a little Indian. You don't have to worry. All right.
Okay. Have you one minute, Sanju? 1 minute, Sanju. Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. You know, Vikraman and Pankaj, and to all of you, there is a record of the actions of this family and this party over a period of time. The records are everywhere, and the records are deep, and the record is so clear. You know the role of this family in supporting people who carried out the Vikraman, you don't have to go to your second line. You've already exposed your lack of intellectual depth with your initial comments, and you do it every time. I wonder why you don't stop. I'm sure for you, Robert Vadra is an intellectual idol. You idolize Robert Vadra, don't you? He's your intellectual idol. You look up to Robert Vadra.
Arnab, shall I make a point?
You look up to Robert Vadra, don't you?
You look up to Narendra Modi.
Yeah, the country looks up to Narendra Modi. I think he's a fantastic Prime Minister. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's event where Rajpath is renamed as Kartavya Path.
He got a degree.
You
doesn't even have a proper degree certificate.
Okay.
And you look up to him, come on.
Man, he's making no sense. He's adding no value.
You people are making sense.
You see.
Anyway,
I wish you luck. One minute. Just turn the volume down for a minute. I'm telling Vikraman something. Vikraman, I'll tell you one thing. You go out tomorrow, out of your house, go to the market and tell people out there that I have joined the Robert Vadra camp. And then take a phone and record the reactions of people around you. Just record it. And put it on social media.
Nobody knows Robert Vadra in Tamil Nadu.
He's your national leader. Haven't you seen the posters? Mr. and Mrs. Vadra are your supreme leaders. You go to the market and say, I am a supporter of Mr. and Mrs. Vadra. Record the video on a 360-degree around you and see the reaction of the people. I'd love you to put that post out tomorrow. Will you do that?
You are not a journalist.
Will you do that?
You are a propagandist.
Will you do that?
You are a propagandist.
Will you do that?
And you are looking up to Mr.
Yeah,
Narendra
but then you are on my program, no?
A genuine degree.
I'm telling you. Well, I don't know. I've been to Oxford and Cambridge and Hindu College on scholarships. Genuine degrees, sir. Okay. Now I'll tell you. So that's shut you up nicely. Thank you very much. I have Sanju Verma on the debate. My point is, what is there to unite? This whole assumption here, Bharat Jodo, begins on an assumption that the country is not united.
Exactly.
And now the country is united. One country, one constitution, one flag, and by the grace of the Lord Almighty, one law, uniform civil code also by next year. I don't know what is there to unite. I don't know. What is the premise here? Yes, please.
I think that's a very valid question. Also, I want to make one very important point.
Louder.
Since we are discussing the Rahul Robert Jodi, if you recall, prior to Lok Sabha 2019 results being announced, throughout the campaign, there was only one slogan that Rahul Gandhi and his posterity danced on. Chowkidar chor hai, chowkidar chor hai, chowkidar chor hai. Supreme Court castigated Rahul Gandhi, saying the Modi government has not compromised on the Rafale deal. This man refused to listen and continued the chowkidar chor hai. Meenakshi Lehi had to file a contempt of court petition. Tab jaakar Rahul Gandhi ke muh mein dahi jam gaya. He never learns any lessons. And funnily, for a man who made defense as the agenda of his campaign between September 2019 and March 2020, there were 24 defense committee meetings. Do you know, Rahul Gandhi did not attend even a single meeting. Do you think the Janta of this country is, not enlightened? They can see through the charade. They can see through the facade. Look at this party called Congress Party. Priyanka Vadra said, "Ladki hu, lad sakti hu," and the entire Congress brigade said, "Wah wah, wah wah, wah wah." They got 2 seats. Vote share in Uttar Pradesh, 2.35%. Kya hua? Did anybody have the guts to say Priyanka Vadra was a complete disaster as General Secretary in Uttar Pradesh and she should be sacked? No, they actually started hailing her as the next best thing after brown bread. Look at Rahul Gandhi. He said Uttar Pradesh mein Suraj uge na uge, Suraj ast ho na ho. But Yogi Adityanath will never come back as PM for second term. What happened? For the first time in 57 years, Yogi stormed back to power again.
No, there are many examples.
They said we will win Uttarakhand.
Yeah, but the political victory is not the only angle, Sanju. I put it differently when we are talking about the country. We're talking about the country, and viewers, The fact is, you know, you see, it's bellwether, you know, even Renu. Even Renu, Sanju, 1 minute, Sanju, 1 minute. You see, Sushil and Karthike are on the debate. Mrs. Swami is there. You see, even Renu Mittal, who's avowedly been a Congress supporter, even she's absolutely, completely. See, Pankaj, she's cynical and frustrated today. She's frustrated today. She doesn't know what's going on. But Renu, I told you a long time back on programs like these, I used to say, this party is done for with the Mr. and Mrs. Vadra combination running it, because when we carry out airstrikes against the enemy country, they say, where is the sabut? Give us the sabut. Give us the sabut. Give us the sabut. You know, they've done everything, Karthike, to try and break the country. Now they say Bharat, Bharat Jodo. And he said, I'm frightened. No, I said it's a frightening possibility. Vikraman probably has problems with the English language. Vikraman, I will give you Renan Martin. You study it tomorrow, or maybe take a year, then come back and converse in proper English with me. Yes, please. So you don't understand what I said out there. You don't understand the phrasing, the prefix and the suffix well enough, Vikraman. No problem. But take that video tomorrow. Go to the market and ask people. I'm a supporter of Mr. Vadra, and see their reactions. They'll have a bigger smile than yours. Sushil Pandit, my point is, people will ask today, is this the family which asked for sabut after the airstrikes? Oh yes, they will. Oh yes, they will. People don't forget so quickly, Sushil.
So interesting. The sabut story is so interesting. Even before India claimed the airstrikes, it was Pakistan who declared that Indian planes had come, crossed the LOC, crossed even the international border, and bombed Abbottabad. Pakistan was claiming it, India was yet to declare, and Congress was still asking for sabut. Now that tells you the real character.
Rahul Gandhi was in Italy.
Now I don't know what he's trying to Jodo. There is a huge problem today. First of all, Jodo your credibility. Jodo your integrity.
Exactly.
Jodo your party. Jodo your ideology. Jodo your family. There is a lot to Jodo at home before you set out to Jodo India.
Absolutely. People don't forget. Mr. Chandurkar, people are remembering right now. Some of our viewers are writing also, Karthik. Bibek Bardhan says Bharat Jodo Yatra by Rahul Gandhi is more his internal campaign than anything else. Sheila says public knows this. Jodi believes in Bharat Todo, not Bharat Jodo. You know, you have Ronita Roy who says it's just a gimmick. You have Ruchi who says it's a Gandhi-Vadra union rather than Bharat Jodo. Gurleen Kaur who says these are the people who believe in Bharat Todo more than Bharat Jodo. It's a resounding call, Karthik. And Renu, you should have seen the writing on the wall so many ways, you know, during the COVID crisis. This family, and this dangerous family with dangerous politics, desperately wanted to divide people by spreading misinformation on vaccines, on what was happening around the country. They joined all the enemies of the country, and people are saying today, you're saying Bharat Jodo? You're saying Bharat Jodo? You forget what happened after.
No, I think.
Allow me. Yeah. Okay, Renu. The past is coming back to haunt this party and the family.
Arnab,
yes.
No. You see, the point is that I think somewhere along the line, their priorities have been mixed up.
Always.
Confused. The kind of advisors that the Gandhi family has, you know, they have taken the entire family and the party for a ride. Now, you know, we are facing elections in Gujarat and Himachal. Now, should the Congress party not be focusing on these states instead of going in for Mehengai Yatra or whatever, you know, this Bharat Jodo Yatra, before that the rally, and wasting, they keep claiming they have no money and they're spending huge amounts of money on this. Forget Gujarat. I think Gujarat by any standards is gone for the Congress party. Focus on Himachal. Get one state. Find your footing back in the electoral battlefield. Get your priorities right. Don't be so confused. Get as many seats as you can in Himachal. You at least will be a party which is out of two. You have one.
Mr. Chandurkar, hear this. Pankaj, hear this.
That you are hearing off to Sri Perumbudur. I believe first time Rahul has gone to Sri Perumbudur in 31 years. after his father died. Now, what are we talking about? You know, and then he's going off to America and to Italy and all kinds of places. But why are you not focusing on elections? Why are you not bringing the party back on the rails?
Arnab,
It's a very old party.
Mr. Chandorkar, you must...
No, they are focusing on elections. They are focusing on elections.
In Himachal, it doesn't have any face now. After the death of Veerbhadra Singh, the Congress
Mr.
doesn't
Chandorkar, the party is
the
gone.
Congress doesn't know how to fight its elections.
Yeah.
So it's doing Bharat Jodo, it's doing all kinds of gimmickry. I agree with you about gimmickry. At the moment, that's what it is. You have to put together so many other things before you can go around. And there are so many problems.
Bharat Jodo Yatra.
People are being harassed.
Bharat Jodo Yatra will be joined tomorrow
marching and doing
by
yatras,
50,000 congressmen.
The fact is that that Modi
Bharat Jodo Yatra tomorrow
to handle for the Congress
will
party
be joined by 50,000 congressmen.
The day you start winning and get your act together,
and more than 1 crore civilians will applaud this yatra while it is passing. The yatra is not going in the luxurious tankers, as you say, but Rahul Gandhi and congressmen are walking the distance of 3,500 kilometers.
Yeah.
Which leader in the country can do this?
Yeah.
Let us not be
Does
biased.
it change the fact that this party has been... Mr. Chandorkar, quick counter, Praveen Swami is there, Karthik is there. Does it change the fact that the top leader of the Congress, Robert Vadra, is linked to arms dealer Sanjay Bhandari? Does it change that? Will it forget? Will people say, let's not talk about that? Robert Vadra named in the Dhingra report? No. What is it? What do you mean doesn't matter?
Civil society.
What do you mean? Civil society? Earlier private citizen. This argument given a long time. No. He can be as much as corrupt as he wants to be. He's a private citizen. Now you say civil society. What is civil society, sir? What is civil society? What's your definition of civil society? Aruna Roy is your definition of civil society? Aruna Roy is your definition, urban Naxals are your definition of civil society, sir? With all respect, Karthik Atanna and Mr. Swami are on the debate as well. And I'm getting more responses. Karthik Atanna is on the debate, viewers. Karthik Atanna responding. Last 5 minutes of the debate tonight.
Unity of India. Who is talking about unity of India? The Congress had sold the rupee printing machine to Pakistan. Unfortunately, that anti-national minister belonged to Tamil Nadu. They sold the rupee printing machine to Pakistan to get more money printed in Pakistan. What happened to Kashmir? 68 years. We were worried whether Kashmir belongs to India or Pakistan. 8 years, Modi united India. He united Kashmir. He brought Jammu Kashmir and an India rule. He is a great unifier. Modi is a great unifier of India. Whereas you guys are anti-national. You guys are anti-national. You had an understanding with Katrachi. You had an understanding with Katrachi.
1 minute.
You are an anti-national party, not nationalistic party. It is no more
I only repeat, as I bring
party.
Karthik into the debate, last 4 minutes, what is there to unite? India is a country which stands unitedly against terror. It's the Congress party which demands proof of airstrikes against the enemy country. We are united to kick out corruption. It's the Congress party which carries out marches defending the corrupt. This is a party which has stood by Suresh Kalmadi and is now standing by Robert Vadra. Let me not open my mouth, sir. The people of this country are sick and tired of the political ambitions and material aspirations of this one family. Karthik is on the debate. Karthik and Pankaj.
Exactly, Arnab. Arnab, you hit the nail on the head. I want to tell the people of India listening to this debate that this yatra is for one and one purpose, which is to establish the hold of Gandhi family on the Congress party. They are losing control because of high-profile people retiring. They need to regain control. This is an expensive and an inconvenient yatra, basically to show that the Gandhi family is the one who should rule over Congress. Secondly, I also want to tell the people of India that this is not a Bharat Jodo Yatra, it's a Bharat Todo Yatra, as has been evident from Rahul Gandhi's statements for years and years and years. He has tried to divide because every time the Congress party loses any semblance of power, all they want to do is divide the country into small pieces and then rule over them.
Yes, yes.
That is the unfortunate truth, and Arnab, your channel has documented that. I don't need to even repeat it. So it is obvious that this is not a Bharat Jodo Yatra, it's a Bharat Todo Yatra at the cost of family Jodo Yatra.
Absolutely. Pankaj and then Sanju. Pankaj, then Sanju. Pankaj.
That is what you say.
Pankaj, then Sanju. Pankaj. Pankaj first, then Sanju.
That's what I say. Obviously,
Pankaj, then Sanju. 3 minutes on the debate, viewers. Pankaj.
Against the division of India.
If some people are in the habit of regularly keep carping about everything, what can you do? A large section of the media syndicate in which your channel, Mr. Goswami, has a very special place, has been assigned the job of making non-issues the major issues and major issues the non-issues. I don't blame you
so Bharat
because this is your
Bharat Jodo is not an
kartavya
issue.
on which you are walking faithfully.
Bharat Jodo is the main issue.
Now you are using the useless controversy. Now you are
Bharat
using
Jodo
the
is the main
useless
issue.
controversy, and your channel has devoted the entire day on this absurd topic today.
Absurd topic.
You've never shown such keenness to discuss the
Bharat
real
Jodo,
issues.
Bharat Jodo.
One minute. Pankaj, listen to me. Pankaj, listen to me. Listen to me, Pankaj. Listen to me. I'm now talking to you. I'll talk to you. You are the person, Pankaj. You are the person. Pankaj, listen to me. Pankaj, listen to me. Don't let me speak too much. If I speak too much, you'll have no way. You'll run away from my program. You are the person who claims to be a journalist, but has faithfully served on the rolls and taken money from Kamal Nath as his employee, despite knowing his contributions during the emergency. Despite his contributions during the emergency.
I have not taken a single rupee from
Sure, but you worked for Kamal Nath. But you worked for Kamal Nath. Have you worked for Kamal Nath? But have you worked for him?
Honorary media advisor.
Yeah, but why? Do you work for a person? You have worked for a person as an advisor? Okay, you've not taken money, but you worked for a person as an advisor to a person who was participant in the emergency, and you have supported him in his media campaigns. You should not be speaking at all. Despite, and also besides that, tweeting most unfavorably against the sentiment of the Hindu community in this country. You should be lecturing nobody. You should be lecturing no one. There, I've given it back to you.
Please take your words back.
Yeah, no, 1 minute. I repeat, you have worked as the media advisor for Kamal Nath.
Please take your
Have you? Yeah, I know, but I'm told you worked as a media advisor for Kamal Nath, who is a star of the emergency.
Take a single penny from the
No, but have you worked for him? Okay, you've not taken a single penny, but have you worked for him? Do you admit? Do you admit you worked for him?
Why are you giving him?
Do you admit you worked for him?
How can you say
Can we please move on to the debate? This man is not.
Why are you getting stressed now? Why are you saying it now? I just told you about your background. Why are you angry about your own background? You should be proud about your background. You should be proud about your background. You have worked for Kamal Nath.
Allegation against me.
You have worked for Kamal Nath, haven't you?
I was an
But you have worked for Kamal Nath.
I did. I was not.
There you are.
I didn't take it.
But viewers, he has worked for Kamal Nath, and all of us know what Kamal Nath did during the emergency. I stand by what I said.
You say this. I worked for the Congress government in Madhya Pradesh. I worked for the.
That's all right. Now you've said your piece. Now, okay, so you admit it. No problem. So be proud of it. Say, I worked for them. Be proud. I work for Kamal Nath and I work for the star of the emergency. Be proud of it.
And I'm proud of that.
Be proud of that I worked for say with pride I worked for the star of the emergency. Say with pride I worked for Kamal Nath.
I'm proud. Yes, I worked for the Congress government.
People like Pankaj need to be given back sometimes, viewers, and that's why I exposed him on his own background. Now, Sanju wants to make a last point, then I'm closing.
Yeah. Arnab, I just want to say one thing. You have often said it on your shows that 2 + 2 is not necessarily 4. You need to have that X factor, the force multiplier. BJP has a force multiplier in Narendra Modi, a force multiplier in J.P. Nadda, a force multiplier in Amit Shah. Rahul Gandhi plus Priyanka Vadra plus Robert Vadra plus Sonia Gandhi is equal to 0. Rahul Gandhi multiplied by Sonia Gandhi, multiplied by Robert Vadra, multiplied by Priyanka Vadra
Okay.
is zero. Zero plus zero is zero.
I got the point over time, viewers. But they have a force multiplier. And that force multiplier, ladies and gentlemen, is none other than Mr. Robert Vadra. Ladies and gentlemen, this debate on the Rahul Robert jury, and on the other side, what's happening in West Bengal. Will Molloy Ghatak be arrested? But on the other side as well, why can't we get rid of all symbols of our colonial past completely? When I'm back.